So this is a little star performer that I want to talk about, one that can really take the cold, that has this sort of, we'll call antifreeze built into them. What I want to talk about today are some plants that will defy the cold. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank our sponsors. The Garden Home vlog is made possible by Gilbert H. Wild & Son, who've been growing beautiful perennials since 1885. Ralston Family Farms, a farm family producing delicious rice for your table. First Community Bank, whose heart is in the community, as well as Sunpatiens, SuperCal Petunias, and Dragon's Breath Celosia, and Crystal Bridges, Museum of American Art. Check out my website to learn more about the brands we love. This plant needs no introduction. It's the pansy. We all love them. They grow beautifully in southern parts of the country where it's warmer in the winter. It can be California, Oregon, coastal areas where the temperatures are moderated by the sea, or in the deep south, or in our gardens here in Zone 8. And they'll even up to Zone 7. The flip side, and these grow in the fall during that period and bloom until it gets hot. Whereas our friends in the north, they plant pansies and often plant them in the spring. However, there is a lot of work being done with these where they're becoming more and more cold tolerant. Just look at that, isn't that beautiful? Very beautiful little this may be actually a panola, which is a cross between a pansy and a viola. And that's what I want to talk about today, because the viola is the smaller form. Here you've got a big-faced pansy here that is a full pansy. This is a panola. And then over here, I've got some little violas. Let me just pick one of these for you to see, a little viola. Now remember, we are almost officially at winter. And we've had temperatures drop here to 16 degrees. And these pansies in containers have come through like little champs, and they continue to bloom. What we find is that about 16 degrees, depending on the variety and where they are placed in the garden, you'll see damage to the bloom. At about 10 degrees, you can see damage to the flower buds. And here's an example of a flower bud here. There's one that wants to open. And then when you get down to 0, you can lose the plant. Now, we've been working on a garden in Michigan, and our clients there have told us that the pansies that were sited for the garden actually came through the winter beautifully, and they had dropped into well below 0, but they came out in the spring and were beautiful because, well, they have cooler summers. So our northern friends get to enjoy them through the growing season, the traditional growing season of really March through September, while it stays cool, if it stays cool, because pansies and violas like it that way. They don't like it too warm. And in the south, we tend to grow them really in the fall, the onset of fall, through the winter, and by the time it warms up, certainly by May, they've finished up and done their thing. But what's marvelous about these, well, there's lots of things marvelous about them. They're very delicious. You've seen me this before. That was the panola, remember, the cross between the pansy and the viola, and that's the viola. Now, what we like to do is to plant these in colors of that are alike. You can do it any way you like. You can have a kaleidoscopic planting of pansies if you like, because they come in all sorts of colors. And some have beautiful little faces on them, and some are very plain faced or one color like these. But I tend to like to plant in colors that are similar. So in a case like this, you could take that as a middle color, go slightly darker with another type with it, a deeper purple pansy, and one lighter, and mix them together. And I like to mix the violas and the pansies, and so if you get the smaller blooms, larger blooms, medium-sized blooms mixed with dark, medium, and light purple, well, you get a combination that will sing in your garden. Now, the classic combination with these pansies, of course, of our spring flowers. We see pansies planted so often with tulips, gorgeous, gorgeous combination. Or for that matter, any of the spring flowering bulbs or flowering shrubs such as winter jasmine. They seem to want to step out there on those warm days in winter and shine and sing for us when we need it the most. And that's one of the things that I like so much about these flowers. Now, for a couple of cultural practices that I'd like for you to think about. Just because this plant is growing in the winter doesn't mean you shut everything down and you leave it alone. You really need to feed them. I found a dilute solution of an all-purpose organic fertilizer is really all they need. If you want to give them immediate feeding, a liquid fertilizer is better. You can use a granular organic around them and just water it in. It takes just a little longer for it to kick in. But you want this foliage to stay very green like this, nice and dark green. They come out of the greenhouses where they've been cared for and actually have been fed and fed and fed and fed. And we put them out in our gardens and we don't feed them at all. And so they tend to go on a crash diet and they don't look so good. So you want to make sure that they maintain that really dark, rich color. And don't go too heavy on the nitrogen because you will end up with all foliage. And what you want are lots of these little flowers. Now, these have been through a very cold night. This flat actually froze. It dropped down to 30 degrees. You can see that's why some of these flowers don't look so good. But what a testament to their hardiness. And that's what, when we say a plant is hardy, we talk about its ability to withstand cold. And the pansy is really considered a hardy annual. And it's all relative as to whether or not they'll survive in your area or not, depending on the weather and how much they're protected and actually how cold it gets and for how long. I love to see these planted in flower beds, and you see them with a lot of commercial properties where they mass plant them, but they're very good for border plantings at our homes. They're great in raised beds, and they're excellent in containers, and I like to use them in containers, sort of groupings of 3 or 4, and I put a little bit of mulch around the base of them to help protect the top layer of soil, so if it freezes, the roots don't get, the plant doesn't get heaved up and the roots torn. And the sooner one can plant them in the fall to get them started in our part of the world, the better. And then you can plant them before your last frost date in the north very easily because they are that cold tolerant. And it's a great way to get a jump on the spring. So if you don't believe me when I say these things add a lot to containers and they can take the cold, let's head over to the fountain garden where I've stacked some pots around with this and that in them, and you'll see how well they're thriving. Come on, let's go. So this is an area that you probably remember if you follow our videos. We did one on container gardening for the fall, and it showed like 10 different combinations of these beautiful fall containers. And here we had before an agave, which had to be taken out before the cold weather. And these are the containers that we'd planted. And, you know, I have to say, after going through, you know, mid-teens, they look pretty doggone good being up above the ground. And what's blooming, still blooming, are the pansies and violas. So to my point, now what I would do here is just come in and just clip off anything that's spent like this. Just dress them up a little bit. And as I mentioned, feeding them because you can see, look, the color's not that great here, so it's going to be time to give them a little bit of feed. This one has already finished blooming. I'm going to take it off, but look at that beautiful face. And look at them as the temperatures have warmed, they've really come back. I'll just clean these other perennials up back here, the Shasta daisies, and of course we got a little burn here on the cabbage and kale, but you know, they'll come along and be just fine and potentially go through the entire winter just improving. Hope this has been helpful to you. And if it has, please like the video and be a subscriber to my channel. Also, if you want to know when new content is coming online, which is regularly, just ring the bell. And remember, every Friday I send out a newsletter from pallansmith.com that tells you about all the goings on at Moss Mountain Farm. We hope you'll come see us soon.